Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Western Regional Agricultural Stress Assistance Program Network quarterly meeting. Today, we are going to hear from WRASAP mini grants recipients. These are mini grants at work, and they'll be from projects and impacts on farm worker communities. My name is Esmeralda Mandujano, and I will be your host for today. I am with the California Agribility Program at UC Davis, and we have the pleasure of hosting this WRASAP Network quarterly meetings for the WRASAP Network. Our presenters today are Maria Dodd from the Professional Tax Services and Elena Velez from Community Restorative Training. I will talk a little bit about what WRASAP is and then introduce our presenters, and from there we'll go into the presentations, our announcements, and move on. So a little bit of background about WRASAP, the Western Regional Agricultural Stress Assistance Program. This is a project that is funded by the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, specifically the National Institute of Food and Agriculture, the NIFA wing of USDA. It is under the Farm and Ranch Stress Assistance Network grant, and this grant, what it does is that it establishes regional networks that connect agricultural producers, farmers, ranchers, farm workers, and others in agricultural related occupations with resources to assist them in times of stress. So we're really working on addressing farm stress in the different 13 states and 4 territories in the West. There are 4 U.S. regional programs. If you'd like to learn more about the other 3 projects, you can visit farmstress.us. That is where we have information on each of these, information and connection on each of the 4 regions. But for us, we are the project in the West. The area of service for the West is 13 Western states and 4 U.S. territories. Because it is a very large area, we have multiple partners, also acknowledging that our farming in the West is very different and there are different populations that work in farming. So some of the main projects in this work are the Washington State University Extension at Skagit County, Montana State University, Farm Aid, Colorado Agribility, the National Agribility Program, AgWell, also the Cooperative Extension at the University of Hawaii, the University of Guam, the University of Idaho, and with the mini grant programs, we're also expanding our reach and our network and partners so that we can have more people working towards the same goal of reducing farm stress in the West. Some of the WRASAP efforts that include a clearinghouse. The clearinghouse is a comprehensive searchable database to facilitate easier navigation of resources. This one is closely connected with the Farm Aid databases, and our goal is to increase the number of resources in the databases so that people learn about what resources are available for farmers and farm workers in the West. Another project is the Small Grants Program. The Small Grants offers up to $10,000 for programs on professional development, outreach, and translation. And we'll hear about these projects a little bit more today, some of the ones that have been funded. It also increases it extends existing hotline operation hours and training for hotline staff to better support agricultural populations, more specifically increasing the hours of operation of the Farm Aid hotline. And then the network part is what we're here for today. It is a collaboration and expansion of the network to ensure culturally humble community outreach to support a region, like I said, and Alaska, Arizona, California, Colorado, Hawaii, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, New Mexico, Oregon, Utah, Washington, and Wyoming. And today we are here specifically for the networking meetings. These are meetings where stakeholders are able to build connections and collaboration to assist agricultural producers in times of stress, improve behavioral health and wellness, literacy, and outcomes for agricultural producers, their families, and their communities. Collaborators also present their efforts and offer opportunities to pose questions and bring experiences to the table. We've seen from these that some of the projects that were done in one state were replicated in another state, but of course more specifically to fit the other state or the community where it was done. The meeting is open to the public and to external partners. So we typically start this meetings with an icebreaker so that we have a little bit more opportunity to connect with others in the group. So today Angelina's going to break us out into Zoom breakout rooms, and we'll share our name, our role in the organization, what organization we're with, and what are we looking forward to most in the summer. That could be things such as kids camps, health fairs, swimming, grilling, planting, anything that you're looking forward to in the summer. How was it? Did you guys learn something about what other people are doing in the summer? I know I said what I was doing in the summer is watching my nieces and nephews play soccer. That's something that I'm really looking forward to. And it's also something that just makes me really happy, works on reducing stress. I was like, let me share something that is in line with the WRASAP goals and missions. So does anybody want to share either what you're doing or what somebody else in your group is doing and you want to copy them?
Hello, my name is Maria Dot, and I am looking forward to grilling, planting, and just being outdoors because that'll allow me to grill, feed my children, have them outside, and plant my plants. So they get to get dirty, they get to be fed, and it's all in one. So that's what I'm really looking forward to.
Thank you, Maria. Does anybody, one more person want to share? Keeping your summer, what you're looking forward to the summer as a secret. Sounds good.
Okay, I can share something simple. I wanted to explore doing nothing, anywhere, nothing. So just taking a break, and I'm going to be traveling, but yes, it's just beautiful to change environment and planning a lot. Thank you.
It's a really good plan, Elena. I think that doing nothing sounds like such a simple thing to do, but it's so hard to do, right? It's something that we have to like really almost train ourselves into doing. I think my coworker and I the other day, we were having this conversation of we don't know how to not do something or like stop doing things all at once because there's always so many things to do, but it's such a good goal to have. Okay, so with that, we'll jump onto our first set of announcements. We'll do our first set of announcements right here. So for that, we'll talk about regional trainings and travel funds. But we'll have Tess McGill from Goodwill of the Finger Lakes talk to us a little bit more about what regional trainings are happening.
Thank you, Esme. So we have just started planning for a regional in Hawaii. This regional is going to be October 17th and 18th of this year, 2023. It is going to be held at the Grand Naniloa Hotel. That is in Hilo on the Big Island of Hawaii. We are planning this in coordination with WRASAP and with the University of Hawaii. So we will have a focus on behavioral health. That will be one of our main topics. Assistive technology will be another one. And we're still kind of formulating exactly what other sessions we will have. But the mini funds, the mini grants that you have could possibly help support you to go there. We will have more information coming soon, and that will be on the agribility.org website under our trainings. And I will also make sure that Esme has that information to pass along specifically to all of you guys. So that you have an opportunity to join us. We would love to have as many people as we can, you know, talking about behavioral health and resources and things like that. So that is all I have right now, but put that on your calendar, October 17th and 18th in Hilo, Hawaii.
Thank you, Tess. And for more specifics on the mini grant funding, We'll have Julie. Julie, are you on?
I am here.
Okay, great. So she's going to give us more details on the mini grant funding for professional development and the timelines more specific for these regional agribility trainings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome from the middle of downtown Denver. I'm on a bus and it's kind of cool out here. But I'm going to give you information about applying for a mini grant for funding to travel to the agribility in Hawaii. So if you're interested, you can apply for a mini grant, but you need to do so before June 30th, because our review date for June 30th is will be toward the mid to end of July. And in order to get the funding in time to book flights to Hawaii at a decent cost, you need to have that in by June 30th. If you're still interested but don't have the everything together that you need, you can still apply for a mini grant at the September 30th date, but that would be, if it was approved, then that would be reimbursed after you returned. So if you wanted to get the mini grant in plenty of time to buy a ticket, you'd have to apply by June 30th. Thanks all, and I'm super excited to be here.
Thank you, Julie, for giving us details on the mini grant funding application. So really, if you would like to attend the trainings and get the cost paid for upfront, that would be applying by June 30th. And Tess is telling us in the chat that she will make sure that specific details for the Hawaii regional are sent out prior to the June 30th deadline. I've also put in the chat the farmstress.us webpage where you can find details on what you need in order to submit a professional development award or a mini grant funding opportunity on the webpage. Thank you, Tess. Thank you, Julie. So that will segue us into our presenters today. We have two presenters and we're going to be talking about mini grant recipients. Like I said at the beginning, WRASAP has 3 different categories of grant funding. One is professional development, the other is outreach, and the third one is translation. And Maria Dodd and Elena Velez have both successfully received awards under a couple of these categories. They'll specifically tell us which ones as they share with us their work. So I'm going to start off with reading a little bit about both of them, then we'll go into Maria's presentation, and then after that we'll go to Elena's presentation and we'll save questions for the end. So to start off, Maria Dodd is a tax preparer and community promotora in Yolo County. This is in California. Her project, Mobile Outreach to Agricultural Workers in Northern California, provided mobile tax preparation services to farm workers and their families. Ms. Dodd will share how professional tax services set itself apart from others by focusing on educating clients and preparing them to make informed financial decisions. Maria is also an individual that comes from a farm working community. So this has been key in the work that she has done. Elena Velez is a certified healthcare interpreter and culturally competent wellness educator. Her project, Community Restorative Wellness Training, Latinx Stress Relief Habits for Latinx, took place at the Agriculture and Land-Based Training Association, ALBA, in Monterey County in California. Ms. Velez will be discussing her project and continued efforts to reach farmers and farm workers to provide training on how the body and mind work together and how developing simple healthy habits lead to improved mental health wellness. So with that, we'll go with Maria.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Maria Dodd, and today I will be telling you about my project, Outreach and Professional Development, and how it focuses on reducing financial stress and anxiety in the farm working community. But before I tell you that, I mean, Esmeralda already told you a little bit about my background, but I'll tell you a little bit about what made me go into this, what my passion is, what my drive is. My family works in agriculture, and I have worked in agriculture myself, harvesting corn and grading tomatoes. So I know firsthand how complex and how hard it is to sometimes juggle 2 jobs at a time, to apply to multiple jobs, to sometimes, you know, you hold 2 jobs at the same time. So it's like, how do you do that? So throughout my presentation, I'll go ahead and explain further. How can a tax preparer help? When it comes to financial stress and anxiety in the farm working community, it aids other farm workers to be informed when making financial decisions. Making educated decisions today will make a difference tomorrow. This matters, as you will see through my entire presentation, reducing financial stress and anxiety at the end of the year and during the year, as you will see through the presentation. Building trust. This allows the trained farm worker and myself to spread mental health awareness in the farm working community. I conducted this project conveniently thinking about the farm workers and their busy schedule with my slogan, when life gets so busy, let us come to you. Professional development. How can I develop and empower a farm worker to build trust in the farm worker community? Carefully selecting a farm worker community member that will continue certification process year after year wasn't easy. This individual had to be a key individual, training and certifying a farm worker, someone who other farm workers go to because he or she is savvy, they can get things done, they can understand the paperwork, but mainly they can follow through. As we all know, tax law is very complex and it's not everyone's favorite subject. In this slide, you can see how complex it is to keep your certification, to do the courses. So finding someone and finding that education, not just, it's not easy, but I was able to find it in Spanish so that they could become a preparador de impuestos, a registered tax preparer. They had to do their hours, 60 hours of tax law. They had to pass a background check. They had to obtain their own PTIN number. They have to keep bonds and they have to keep certifications, and not just that, that's just for the first year and then after the year. So it's very complex. So finding the right individual was challenging, but I was able to find the correct person. So that's just a little bit so that you guys understand how complex it is to have this education for tax preparation. Here are 2 cases. They both had similar income in 2021 and 2022. The difference was the choices they made. The choices they made in 2021 versus the choices that they made in 2022. In 2021, they had no financial education versus in 2022, they came across the Outreach and Professional Development Project or Education. Now let's take a look. As you can see here, making the right choice matters, but you can't do that without having a little bit of education in your background. This individual here is a younger individual. In 2021, you can see their tax liability was $1,931, so they had to pay that just to the IRS, to the federal government. In 2022, after they receive education with this program, you can see that their tax liability reduced down to $236. On case number 2, this was an older individual. We can see that his tax liability was $771 that they had to pay the IRS. And in 2022, they didn't have to pay. They actually got a refund of $998 back from the IRS. As we can see, making the correct choice now matters tomorrow. Little things such as electing to put money into their retirement really matter, or can really help them. Putting the resources where they can utilize them later, as opposed to losing them permanently by paying taxes, it's a big factor. So what I did with those cases is in the cases you saw previously, I had the farm workers update their W forms, because they were getting advice to mark, oh, do head of household, because that way the government won't take your money. You will get more money in your check now, right? But obviously they were getting this information from somebody that didn't really know what was going to happen to them at the end of the year if they kept on doing that. So I had them do that. If they had multiple jobs, I had them go ahead and mark the correct boxes where they could withhold more money for the end of the year. Something as simple as that made a difference, as you guys saw, from 2021 and 2022 for each of them. One of them told me, he said this to me. He said, I really like the work you do, because you don't just simply tell me sign here, sign there, and get out of my office quickly, right? In addition, I went to his house, you know? So I had that time. We had that time to talk over. He said, I really like the work that you do, because you actually tell me what I need to know. I really value that, because now I'm not worrying about tax time, because I saw what you did last year with your advice. I see that return, and now I can put the refund into my grandson's education fund. That way they can decide to go to college when they grow up, when they come of age. So that was really rewarding for me to see that he was able to take that step forward. So just you know, coaching them on how to properly fill their W-4 information that they didn't have before, and why are we doing this? Why are we filling out W-4 now? Because it'll affect your W-2 at the end of the year. And it didn't stop there. Farm workers also seek help from other administrative and healthcare had healthcare questions. For instance, I had several of them ask me about their retirement and how they access their social security. Many of them do not know, or actually none of them knew that they could open up an account through the Social Security website, and they could see, hey, how much money is going in, making sure that, you know, the IRS is correctly reporting their earnings, so that way when they come to retire, they have those funds accessible to them. In their information packages, I started to put information how to contact Social Security directly, so that, because when I would sit with them, we're like, well, I'm stressing over my retirement, I'm coming to age, what are the rules? Can I pull the money out at 65, at 66? So I started to put information from the Social Security website together for them, so that way that's not stressing them. They're not thinking about it. They already have that information. Others had questions in regards to, employment development department, in regards to either unemployment, if they lost their employment at no fault of their own, or their disability insurance, what they have to do, or some of them didn't even know that they were able to get, disability insurance because of an injury that they had. So just giving them that extra information took loads of stress off of them. And then one of my favorite was a mother that reached out to me. She has a 15-year-old daughter, and she reached out to me and she said, Maria, I really trust you because it seems like you know what you're doing, but my daughter is having this issue. She said, she's not sleeping, she's seeing things, she's acting angry. And I'm gonna go ahead and add this: in the Hispanic community, there's a lot of stigma when it comes to mental health. So I could see that she was like, my daughter, and she said this, my daughter is, I don't want to think that my daughter is crazy. And I said, no, and she is not, she really isn't. Just, it's kind of like, because she said, what should I do? 'Cause she didn't even want to take her to the doctor. So I said, you should take her to her primary care physician so that she could give her the proper care that she needs so that she can diagnose her. And I told her, myself, and this is true, myself, I have, I suffer from mental illnesses. So I was able to pick that up and say, hey, I mean, if she's not sleeping, then your brain is obviously seeing things that are not there because you're so tired. Your brain needs to rest. And I'm really happy to, to follow through with her. And to know that she did take her daughter in, and she came back to me and she said, that was the best decision I could ever done. Even when she got diagnosed with, anxiety and separation depression, because the reason why this was happening to her daughter is because the mom was now working 12-hour shifts and the daughter was having to stay by herself for a few hours. So she did not know how to be by herself. And to this day, she's been getting therapy and gotten the help that she needed, and now she's able to be by herself. She's learning to do that. But it was kind of challenging and hard to have that mom, take the first step. But because she trusts me and because she sees that that things that I tell her that, if she tells you to do this will be the outcome, and I have proved it through the taxes, she was able to do it and get it going. So I'm really, really happy, that her daughter is getting the care that she needs, and she's getting the therapy, and that she's now able to be by herself in regards to that. Financial education make a difference. Well, let's see. In 2021, the participants or the clients did not have understanding on how to fill out a W-4. They did not even know what a W-4 was. They were unaware that adding funds to their 401k can be beneficial at the end of the year and in the future. They were unaware that they must save 10 to 25% from a 1099 payment. I was going to their homes after hours to provide this education. I was taking their calls regarding other challenges, such as the mom that reached out for her daughter. And now we can see that in 2022, I can compare 2021 versus 2022 tax results, show how much the farm workers have learned. Now I can see they've lowered tax liability by adequately filling out their W-4s. They are properly retaining 10 to 25% of their 1099s. One of the people reported to me that I am really happy to see that my son is now drinking less because he does not have thousands of dollars that he has to pay to the IRS at the end of the year, and he's less reluctant to file their taxes. Most of the clients that I work with, they're now less reluctant. They feel more confident. They're not in fear of like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? How much am I going to owe? Am I going to still be giving these payments? So I was really happy to hear the mother tell me, I'm really happy to see that my son is drinking less because he does not have that financial stressor behind his back. I even help with, their children's college applications because they interest me enough to say, hey, is this a good idea? And then I could tell them, yes, and give out the resources. Providing resources and information about mental health services in the area is one of the things that I did as well. And I'm really gratified and really, really happy that, that I was able to do that for them. And it's because they were able to open up. I was able to create that trust, and I was able to give them valuable information that is serving them, that it's helping them at the end of the year and reducing this financial and anxiety stress. So I would think that till this day, they still ask me, when is the program coming back? Can we get more people on board? But so yeah, I'm really happy that the project, to me, the project is a success. I can see it in the numbers, and mainly I can see it in their faces, and I can see it in their voices. So I'm really happy with the way this project turned out. And hopefully, you know, in the future, I can continue to provide more knowledge to the farm working community. But now I'll hand it over to Esmeralda.
Thank you, Maria. That was really insightful to see how we often talk about finances, but we don't necessarily talk about finances in the farm working communities, and how really a lot of it can be addressed through education at the time that they're preparing their taxes, and really how it can go beyond that. And the trust that you've gained with them sounds like it has been really fruitful, further than just the education on the financial stressors. So now we're going to go on to Elena's presentation, but first we're going to watch a quick video on some of the work that she has been doing. Just bear with me for a little bit while I load this video.
Hi, my name is Elena Velez, and I created a program that is working to Latino communities, kind of creating a better lifestyle and method of living, using some tools to manage their day so they can go to bed and wake up the next day in a healthier way. Y vamos a sentir que estamos imaginariamente en el lugar que más nos gusta, en una playa, en la montaña, donde quieran, cada uno escoge su lugar. So it's a lot of factors that are affecting the community that I realize they need to have that control on their health, self-control. So those are tools that I'm teaching: nutrition, drinking water, body posture, alignment, kind of physical activity without asking for too much of exercising, but stretching. Es descansamos, las manos cómodas, respiramos profundo, llenando el estómago con aire. This program is like basically 3 different crews, everybody making jokes with each other, participating, stretching. They actually get more familiar with each other, and I am honored to be here for them. What I advise is to go and laugh. This is not fair that we don't take time for ourselves to have fun.
So it's a quick introduction of some of the work that Elena has been doing out in the farms and in California. But with that, we'll hear from Elena herself.
Thank you so much for having me. Let me see, I'm going to start sharing my screen with you guys. I'm honored to be here. I am very grateful to you guys. And I like to invite you to experience my program with me, or my story. Here I am again. I am Elena Velez. My agenda is about numbers, story, experience, allies, practice, and Q&A. Just numbers. We usually say that, just numbers with a story. Here I am, 57, my youngest son, 25, 28, my oldest, and my mom. She's 94. So this is a life review. I have been spending 11 years of my life on the environmental world, environmental health, environmental education. And as an interpreter, medical and healthcare interpreting, I spent like 18 years so far. And also the unpaid full job of being a mother for 20 years, all together. have given me plenty of anxiety and stress. So I decided to do something about it. I created CRT, Community Restorative Training, Taller Restaurativo Comunitario, which is a stress reduction program that looks to reduce and manage stress, anxiety, of course, and all what it matters and all what affects us every day with very simple practices. It's bilingual, it's online, offline. So this is what is happening. All what matters after me being an interpreter and going around speaking, talking different languages, whatever, meeting different people, being in California, it's such a multicultural place. We are all the same. Here we are. We have the same body wiring, wise wiring. And this is something that we need to maintain. So I decided to do something different than being only a voice, a teacher, a training. I am kind of trying to move on with this and provide my experience by sharing. I started with my pilot program in 2020. I went there and I said, okay, let me do this. This is what I have. Let me try. And Farmer Ad at Pro Holo Farm in Brentwood allowed me to do it. Still today, I'm going every month, once or twice, and they show up and they feel a difference. I see difference in their face once I show up. So it's been a lovely experience for me that only by seeing their face, their smile, it's an amazing, huge payback to me. Even Mary, the cat, she shows up to my sessions. So I'm so grateful for her too. This is part of the beauty of what I'm doing. These are coloring papers that I've never imagined I could see. The life, the emotion, the caring that they put in those papers was beautiful to me too. So here I am. I also go to CAF. I visit them once a month when they have their meetings, and I provide my sessions. Seeing that gentleman meditating the way he's doing it, I mean, I had to take a picture of that. It's just, it brings me tears just to think how adorable they are and how much in need. WRASAP showed up in my life, and it has been an amazing experience, mentor and a friend. They have helped me with the professional development grants that were not easy for me to file at the beginning. And they helped me every step. So they helped me with the help of the grants. I was able to go to Eco Farm in person this year. I did it the year before on my own, but it was virtually. I was able to go to the national training workshop because of WRASAP and stay for a week and meet all of you, or most of you. That was an honor for me to see how it works. Thanks to WRASAP, I was able to go to ALBA to present my sessions. 10 sessions. Every Thursday, I had to drive 5 hours to go to see them. And I had plenty of energy and love to do that, and I did it. And it was a very good, enriching program. This is the last day. They were very happy, and it's been a very useful plan for them to just realize that by meditating and stretching, by taking a stop, a pause during the day for 5 minutes, it gives them so much stress relief. Here I had the beautiful experience of working with Chad, that you all know, that you are here, Chad. I'm so glad to be able to tell you this experience at Eco Farm together, sharing and just kind of providing this energy of love and intention that we create. That was a great gift for me. So I appreciate it very much to have the opportunity to provide my session, my meditation, and my restorative movement. So this is my goal now. Let's see, I don't know if you're seeing this, but I am willing to provide access. Not only that way, so I want to go to conferences. I want to be in a Zoom meeting or simply record 5-minute sessions that people has the opportunity to reach out at any time, anywhere, for meditation or for a restorative movement. I want to show you that it's possible to pause. We need to pause. This is just in a funny situation here. I went to Sedona with a friend and I am ready to go there. And I was saying, oh no, forget it. I'm not gonna be able to go up that mountain. I couldn't hike, I thought. And then I say, no, I'm gonna try. And I did it. That's why I keep that picture, because it's proof that we have no right to say no when we haven't tried. So let me see here. Now, I want you to know that I want to become the vitality seed for the agricultural community while building longevity and enabling our body to move independently. So we as an adult, we know that a blank canvas can show up in our life at any moment, any moment. So for that, when that happens, we need to be ready physically. Mentally, we will train ourselves, but physically, we have to allow this body, this machine to move. This is how I'm gonna go. I wanna be those ladies. I saw those ladies playing in New York when I was visiting my son. I wanna play ping pong at that age. So I hope I can make it. I'm gonna do the best I can to do that. So all we're gonna do now is practice. We're gonna practice 5 minutes of restorative movement like a baby and like a cat. This is not the cat normally does, but just we're gonna stretch and we're gonna do a meditation, okay? Are we guys ready? Let me just go here and say this in advance. Q&A will come last, but thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. So I'm gonna stop sharing and I wanna join you guys. If I can see you all with me, that'll be beautiful. Hopefully let's share this experience together. I'm gonna start doing this. Just stay in the position you wanna stay. If you wanna be standing, sitting, make yourself comfortable. Just relax your hands, relax your body, take a deep breath. In and out. Better to do longer when you are exhaling because you are releasing tension. In and out. The sound helps. The sound helps us as much as it helps us when we get back from work to home. We sit down and we finally say, oh, this helps. I'm at home. So this is your home. Stay with me and just relax, take a deep breath and get focused on my voice or get focused or simply on something that you're looking at and just start stretching your arms, go up, stretch your, I'm doing it stretching, don't worry. I will put your meditation. Stretch your arms like a baby. You wake up, they stretch like, yeah. Stretch in any position that you can be. Yeah, go to left, to right, a couple of times. Let's do this. We can do this. Let's do shoulders. Let's go with shoulders. Backwards twice, forward twice. A little bit of neck. Oh my God, it sounds so good. 1 and 2. Let's do our elbows. Let's go with elbows. We can do elbows now. Elbows to outside. Let's do elbows inside. Okay. Now let's stretch here our wrists. You can fall asleep, but I'm gonna wake you up now. Here we go. Stretch our fingers. We work way too much. So when we're doing our fingers, let's do 1, 2, 3, breathe. 4, and don't ever forget this guy because the other 4 are nothing without him. Okay, the other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this guy. Remember this guy. Okay, let's do this. Good job. Okay, now you're sitting, that's fine. While you're sitting or standing, just bend your waist. Move your waist. Let's do this. Waist to one side, to the other side. Even your hips. You can be in a sitting position, you can stretch forward. So this is my chair, and do this. And you straight forward. Okay, you are sitting and you go there and you're gonna stretch your leg, help your knees. You're gonna bend your knees and stretch, go. Okay, the other one, 1, 2, 3, okay? On there, you can move your legs, just clap with your knees. Sitting, activate that. And now you can activate your ankles towards outside and inside. Okay. It's amazing. It's only not even 4 minutes. And we have moved all our body. Okay, let's do neck. Come on. Let's do neck. You can do this sitting or standing, whichever way you prefer. You move, kind of move more. We have done everything. We move all our body. Let's try to see if you're standing, but you're sitting. Let's see. Let's go. Let's do a little bit with our arms. Vamos. Let's do brazos. Vamos. Arms. Come on, Chad. Okay. And then we keep looking at our phone and our computer. So for that, we're going to do this. And look at the ceiling. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We need to do this. Come on, let's do this. And curve your body in the sitting position and open. Do it 5 times each one. 5 times, 4 and 5. And then you still, okay, let's do this. Well, let's do 30 seconds for this. Hit your body because that activates your organs. Your neck, go there. Let's go to your spleen, your liver. Let's go there. Let's do your kidneys. Your hips, you are there sitting, just go there, here, sitting, go there, here, and that's it for that. Now tell me how you feel. Take a deep breath and answer your own question in your mind. How do you feel? How energizing was this in 6 minutes? 6 minutes. So, how was that?
Do you want answers or do you still want them in our minds?
And I don't know. Okay, answers.
Well, I really like it. I'm a big fan of that one. I think in the past I've spoken to Elena and I was like, what can I do in the morning for like 3 minutes because I'm always running late. And that's one of the ones that she talked about, kind of like waking up your body that way. So for me, that's a really effective one.
Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you,
I-
Alejandra.
I love it, Elena. I'm on the bus and everybody is looking at me weird and I don't care because that was really awesome. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you, Julie. Please, who cares? Please. 2 more. Come on, Chad, confess. What happened to you?
It's just a great reminder that you don't have to do anything super complicated. You don't have to carve out a bunch of time or need fancy equipment. It's just taking, making a little bit of effort and awareness to be in touch with our bodies, and it's super beneficial. So appreciate it. And I've seen Elena present and do this, and I just love how engaging she is, and how much she's able to bring people out of their shell and get them to take a risk and move out of their comfort zone. And for just a few minutes of moving out of that comfort, there's some big benefits to it. So thank you very much, Elena.
My pleasure, my honor. Thank you, Shad. One last one. Want to say something before I do the meditation?
I feel grounded and energized, but not in a now I need to go do like hyper excited way, but like in a, I don't know, prepared to give kind of way.
Beautiful. Thank you, Whitney. Yes, that's exactly right. We just need to recharge the body. We keep recharging the phone. What makes us think that we don't have to recharge our body? It's just this wise wiring machine needs to be recharged. Cool. Thank you so much. I'm going to do 5 minutes meditation. 5 minutes. So now you can close eyes, open, standing, sitting, lying down. Choose. Because my goal, honestly, is for you to practice these 5 minutes anywhere, even waiting for a light to change, walking, anything. Just we need to find moments to help ourselves. So normally I like to do it standing. I sway a lot. So just take a deep breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On your own, 1 more. Now you're going to get focused on only one thing besides my voice. Think about your breathing. Think about the sound of birds, the sound of something, your fridge, wherever you are in the office or at home. Just get focused on one sound. An airplane. And my voice. And also you can actually become a statue and kind of think about whether, whatever it happens with the weather, I'm going to be here, not being affected by the weather. Can rain, can be super sunny, anything. So that's what we are going to try to do in 5 minutes or 4 now. So let's do this. When thoughts, worries come, you talk out loud or inside of you and say, hey, I'm busy right now. You can talk to that voice and say, not now, I'm busy. I'm taking care of myself. Go back to your focus point. If you want, think about somebody that you love that brings a smile in your face and make that smile. I'm not looking at you, it's okay. I have my eyes closed. But smile. Be grateful for being here together. We are in charge. We can plant that seed on ourselves, the self-care seed. We can plant the vitality seed on ourselves and practice. That's what we need, practice. It's a big family, a chosen family. And I'm honored to be here, to have the opportunity to do this. And I'm more than anything very grateful to WRASAP and to you guys, to Esmeralda, to Julie, to Shad, to Amber, to everybody in WRASAP. Beth, guys are amazing. I am very grateful. You are now feeling grateful for whoever you want to be grateful. Put your names in your mind. Worries shows up. I'm busy right now. Only 4 minutes. And we have done all this together. Be grateful to wake up every morning, to be able to go to sleep, to have the people that you love around you. And start counting from 10 to 1, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Open your eyes slowly, very slowly, very, very slow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you for having us participate in a little bit of what you're doing now at the farms. And thank you for showing us all the pictures. I know that I've also had the opportunity to even talk to some of the farm workers that were out at ALBA, and they remembered your classes and they were very happy about the work that you were doing. And they were like, oh, yeah, we would regularly meet there. And they would just like really smile whenever they would talk about the classes that you were doing. So now we'll move on to questions. If there's any questions either for Elena or for Maria, this is a good place to ask those. Are there any questions? Well, people are thinking about some questions. I did have one for you, Elena. Did you ever find that there were any challenges with, like, for example, range of motion for some of the farm workers?
Yes, they are honestly very stiff. Their bodies is absolutely, their back is just kind of sadly waiting for a moment that it says that's it, because they easily say, oh, I've been doing this for so many years. Guess what? There's one day So that's why I think their body is very stiff. Their mindset is very kind of tired. They're tired. They don't have time. So I see that on them. I wanted to say something about you, Esmeralda, about what you and your colleague did at the national training workshop. It was impressive to me how you put in everybody's mind what is to deal with their life. You create some scenarios. I thought it was very smart of you guys. Let them see, let everybody see or analyze how will you manage this? What should we do with them? How could we advise them? Because on your end, you see on the one way, and I, as an interpreter, as a medical interpreter for 18 years, I see how much pain in every way, how many challenges they suffer, and they just roll and roll until there's one day they say, okay, a very silly move caused me an injured, and being injured with this system is really challenging. Their lives goes down the hill. So I'm proud of you for what you did there, and I am obviously proud to working with Chad. It's an honor to exchange that knowledge and intention that you all have on this. I know very few other ones here, but I'm here to help. I just want you guys to know that I'm here to help in many ways. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. Yeah, I think a lot of us, well, all of us that join this network meetings are really kind of working towards that same goal of reducing farm stress. There's just so many different ways to do it. And how do we try to understand both the farmers and the farm workers as much as we possibly can to bring in the solutions that they need. And a lot of the times they have the solutions. We're really just there to help facilitate those with them. And really trying to understand their experience. So, and I know a lot of the times when people talk about exercise on the farm or even exercise in general, it's such an easy thing to speak about, but it's such a challenging thing to actually unroll and get people into a habit to do those things. So that's, and having community members lead these things as part of the community is something that I think is very powerful. And one of the reasons why I really admire the work that you're doing, the work that Maria is doing in her own community to help with financial stressors, builds into other things. But yeah, range of motion is usually something that it's in a lot of the questions that we have. Well, how do we make sure that people don't get injured, especially if they have limited range of motions? But
yeah, it's really easy to get injured when you are limited range of motion because you start compensating your body. So when you get injured one side, the other side, you use it more, and that's it. It's the whole side, everything. So one other thing they want to say about Maria, what her comment about trust, is how important is that word, how it much means to us as a community when we can trust somebody. That makes a difference. It's not the same to see somebody famous on the phone doing something instead of somebody that you know that it means. So that's it. I'm quiet now.
No, this is a really good conversation. It's a conversation that's going to continue to give, and we'll continue to work towards that goal of reducing farm stress. Is there any other questions from the audience? Other questions? Okay, so we do have some announcements for some of the events that are coming up. Our partners at Oregon State University continue to hold question, persuade, and refer trainings. The next one is that will be in Spanish, will be on June 8th from 6 to 8 p.m. They continue to do new ones of these, but this is the next one that's coming up. Another one that is being hosted by WRASAP, Mental Health First Aid. This one will be a virtual opportunity. It's going to be taught by Dr. Allison Brennan from Montana State University and Kevin Minahan, President and Chief Strategist from Wardroom Success Strategies. There's a couple of hours of work to do the mental health first training before the actual live session. If you'd like to register for that one, please email Allison at allison.brennan@montana.edu. I'll put that in the chat, but please email her by June 19th. And this is the mental health first aid session. See, another thing that we have is, Julie's letting us know that Oregon State University will have another Spanish session for QPR on August 8th from 9 to 11 a.m. And another thing that we want to invite you guys to join us is to join us on Twitter. WRASAP now has a Twitter page and the handle is @WRASAP. So on there we'll be posting information of events coming up, information of things that our partners are doing across the Western region, and really just another way to communicate and stay connected. And I also want to remind everybody of the funding opportunity. We did talk about mini grants and the professional development to attend the regional events, but funding opportunities are also available and open for outreach and translation projects up to $10,000. The deadline for that is also June 30th. And then also to remind you to join the network and join our listserv for our newsletter that is also available on the webpage at farmstress.us. The next WRASAP Network Quarterly will be on the topic of preliminary findings from the WRASAP baseline survey with farm workers. This one will be in September. Details to come. We will send out the flyer and email registration in the next month or so, but the topic will be on getting some of those preliminary findings on that baseline survey with farm workers. As you all know, we've had sessions with the results from the farmer survey last year, and this year Dr. Gerke and Dr. Brennan from Montana State University are going to let us know what they learned from the surveys in the West with the farm worker population. With that, thank you so much for being here and from learning and listening to what from the projects of Elena and Maria and how they're working with farm worker communities in the West. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I can put my email in the chat. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one, which will be in September with learning about what's going to happen with the baseline survey. Thank you all.